Booyah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. Censorship is a huge, huge issue when it comes to social media and when it comes to our day-to-day lives. We've seen multiple bills pour out in Canada to try to decrease searchability from independent news sites when it comes to the internet, when it comes to finding your favorite content creators, being informed when new videos drop. I know we've talked about it constantly, even on this channel, and bringing back full circle to what I've discussed on this channel. I've often said that I feel when it comes to videos on this platform, especially when you start talking up against the government, especially Justin Trudeau, that YouTube tends to censor channels. I'm seeing a mass censorship when it comes to all political content channels right now on the platform if you're particularly considered to be on the right side of the spectrum. Now, people kept saying, Derek, it's completely, a conspiracy theory. It's not happening. That this has to do with summertime and people are moving away for a bit. And that does happen. Summertime is now I'm approaching my second summer on YouTube, so I'm not as familiar with it as others, but I did see last summer, of course, content. There's not as much to put out. The House of Commons takes a break. There's not as many things happening in politics. So content tends to take a little bit of a back seat from its regularly posted schedules during the summer, and interest kind of peaks down because, again, people go on small little holidays or people are busy with their families or enjoying the nice weather. But one thing that has happened recently that backs up my claim I want to discuss here on the channel because this is related to politics and what we might be looking into next year. If you watched back on the channel about a month ago, I sat down with Jeremy Hambley from The Quartering, a good friend of the channel, and we talked about censorship on the platform. And well, I want to show you what he's put out last week because I think it's important this gets shared out as much as possible. I want to do whatever we can to try and get some attention Jeremy's way because he's started a podcast over the last 9 rough years called The Incredible Salt Mine. And that's been a collab with other content creators, Count Dankula, Bearing, and The Quartering, all doing their podcast. Now, YouTube recently decided to strike them and say that they're not using original content, even though they are. I'm going to show you this clip of Jeremy's video, but I'm going to show you why censorship is becoming a problem and why this is basically shown with receipts here that YouTube is trying to silence anybody for having an opinion these days. It's quite alarming. Let's take a listen.
Obviously, there's another, I'm going to leave a link in the description to a place where you can watch The Incredible Salt Mine every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. We have a Rumble channel now. I hope to get this resolved with YouTube because, we're brand new on Rumble. So it's obviously, it's growing. We have 225 followers there. But we took a long time. We've been on this channel for many years. We have almost 50,000 subscribers, millions of views. So the YouTube says, hey, your channel is using reused content. Content that is not clearly original creation of this channel and may have been repurposed from another source without adding significant original commentary, substantive modifications, or educational or entertainment value. This is simply not true. Our channel is 100% unique content, okay? The only issue, perhaps, would be that you notice in our live streams, okay, we use the same background. We don't have any video, but we use the same background and we just talk over it. But this is what we've done for years. We've been doing this show since 2022, I guess. Maybe even longer ago. We've been doing this show for years. It's a great way for us to stay together. Since 2020, it looks like. So we've had this channel together for almost 10 years or 5 years at this point. We returned last week to a great crowd, almost 10,000 viewers. Awesome show. And YouTube says this week, oh, well, you're using reused content. Well, that's not the case. So they say, well, how can you appeal this? I say, well, how can I appeal this? They say, well, you have to make a video explaining yourself. But then they didn't even watch it. And they denied my appeal within moments. In this video, if they had watched it, I explained quite clearly that the reason they probably think it's reused content is because of the background.
Okay, so I want to touch on something really quick. So what he's saying here is what's happened based on his YouTube studio. He's made the video that they required. It was less than 3 minutes, I believe, for him to state how this is not reused content, that it's original content. Now, of course, when you send out the link for that, you can list a video as private. The only people who can see those videos are those who sent the links. And of course, you see here there's 0 views on that video, and they've denied his claim. So YouTube has said, no, you don't meet the standards. You don't meet the qualifications. We're just going to demonetize your channel. And they said, we took a look at your appeal. No, they haven't. This is where I'm saying that when you look at shadow banning on the platform and people go, oh, they don't shadow ban, this doesn't happen, they don't cut people down, then what is this? What is this? Now we're just going to say that this is what you're doing because we don't like what you're talking about. So we're going to demonetize your channel.
But every show is unique, and we've been doing this show for 5 years. Right? Like all the way back. Actually, if I go back, can I just sort by since 2018, our show of 6 years. You can go back to the very first episode from 6 years ago and see that it's 100% unique content. This, I believe, is probably a result of YouTube's crackdown on AI content or automated content. The frustrating thing as a creator is that I said all of this in my appeal video, the appeal video that they told me I had to make, that told me it had to be under 3 minutes, that told me I had to address their concerns. I did all of these things in that 2-minute video. Not only did they not watch it, but they denied my appeal immediately, saying that we have reused content. It is not reused content. This show is unique, has been running for 6 years. And they never even cared. They never even bothered. This was episode 1. This is like, I think it might have been the famous Walmart story show or one of the famous Walmart episodes. If you watch The Incredible Salt Mine, you know that we have a lot of deep lore. Okay? A lot of it. And many of the, you look at this episode, is 80,000 views. I suspect it probably is the Walmart story episode. It's well liked. It's from June of 2018. So a podcast of 6 years has now been demonetized with no reason. And I mean, with the reason being, obviously that it was reused content. So I did the appeal, and within minutes, they denied it. And they said, the appeal didn't contain enough visual examples of your filming, editing, and creative process. It's a podcast. We get together every week for a podcast. There is no video evidence of a creative process. It's Daniele, Bering, and myself shooting the breeze every week and letting everybody tune in and have a good time. I don't know how I could actually depict that. You know how difficult it is to get an Aussie and somebody and a Scotsman together? We're talking about, we have a podcast that extends beyond, to the 2/3 of the planet.
So ultimately, this is tough to see. It's hard to come to the realization that YouTube is essentially ignoring content creators. Now, people say, well, but do they cover politics? Like, where does this pertain to politics? Well, Jeremy's current channel, The Quartering, sits at 1.6 million subscribers. Now, if you don't know about The Quartering, if you don't know what The Quartering does, he covers a lot of spicy style culture war content. Sometimes he talks about Donald Trump. Sometimes he talks about other political issues, but other times he's talking about woke content stuff. He covered a lot of what happened with Dylan Mulvaney and Bud Light. He's kind of all over the culture wars these days, but with a little sprinkle of politics. Now, a lot of people in the comment section of that video are saying this is silencing coming because of what you do on your platform, getting into politics. They want to shut people down. We've seen what happened with Donald Trump's court case last week and the complete miscarriage of justice that, of course, the Democrats want to come in and silence people. They want to use the machine to their benefit to try and find any way to get ahead. Sound familiar? But when it comes to YouTube, we know from the last US election that companies like Meta were given millions of dollars to push out factual stories and say that they were misinformation. They were censoring content. They openly admitted to it in Congress that they took money to shut down the distribution of content to try and slow Republican votes. What do you think is going to happen in Canada coming into the next year if this is happening to big channels like The Quartering? This is why I constantly say, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, if you haven't subscribed to your other channels that you watch in Canadian politics, make sure to subscribe. Check the channels frequently. Sometimes even my own modifiers, or mods on the channel, I should say, are telling me that they're not getting notified when new videos drop. They're not getting that little blue light next to the channel saying that a new video is up there, that new content is available. Of course, this is part of shadow banning. This is part of their network to shut down people's free speech. Again, when it comes to Justin Trudeau's bills, when it comes to hate speech, when it comes to any kind of articles or truth getting out when it comes to our next civic or federal election, how are we going to get our news? How are we going to get our facts? This country is in deep trouble if this continues. And again, I serve this video as a warning to anybody who says, shadow banning doesn't happen. It's not part of YouTube. It's not, you're oblivious. You don't understand the platform, how it works. This is very scary to think that people that even show proof that, hey, YouTube, you're wrong, YouTube doesn't care. They don't care. It's about money at the end of the day for them. It's about their image. They're going to do whatever they have to protect it. They're going to take money from the wealthy. And this is where things go. But I will have a link down below to the Quartering's full video on this if you want to go check it out. Show him some love. Go over there. If you haven't subscribed to him, check out his content. He's got some great content. His live streams are fantastic. I really enjoyed the time that we sat down on the channel. And I mean, I've been subscribed to that channel for, oh God, going on 5 years now. And I watch it every single day. I think Jeremy's content is fantastic. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Do you think censorship's on the rise when it comes to political season for next year in Canada? Do you think we're going to see much of the same? If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Again, make sure to click that button and turn on your bell for notifications. I know you don't always get them, but check back regularly, and don't forget to join us here on the channel for our live streams every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, where we go over everything that's happened in the past week, everything coming up in the week ahead, and a little bit of back and forth within our community. It's always great to hear what you guys have to say outside of making these videos, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you every single Friday here on Friday Night Fringe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.